The LG G3 was one of my favorite smartphones in 2014, and after using the successor of the G3 for the past few weeks, here's my review of the LG G4. On the back of the plastic version, you can see a pretty cool looking diamond pattern design. If you don't prefer plastic, you can also get the G4 in white ceramic or genuine leather. Now I just want to give a thumbs up to LG for keeping the option of expandable storage and replaceable battery. As you know, many other current flagship devices no longer have these features, and this actually might be the selling point on the G4 for some consumers. So with a micro SD card, of course, you don't have to worry about running out of storage space, and with a replaceable battery, if your battery dies, you don't have to send your phone in for repair. You can simply purchase a new one and replace it. When you place the G4 face down on a flat surface, you'll notice that the body is actually curved. So this resembles the LG G Flex, but of course you cannot flex it. But it's definitely a really cool design. You also might have noticed that on the edges, you don't see any buttons. Well, similar to the previous generations, the buttons are located on the back, right below the camera. And I actually find it quite easy to reach since your index finger is always on the back. You can also double tap on the screen to wake up or close it. Now let's move on to the display. This has an amazing display. It's Quad HD 2K 2560 by 1440 at 538 pixels per inch. So the resolution is the same as the G3, but LG improved the overall colors of the screen with the IPS quantum display technology. It has great saturation and contrast, and it's a bit similar to the Super AMOLED displays you find on the Samsung Galaxy devices. So the colors are very bright, very vivid, and I don't have any issues with using this phone outside on a bright sunny day. It's really bright at maximum brightness, and it's still visible in direct sunlight. And now I want to talk about the camera. So this has a 16 megapixel rear-facing camera, f1.8 aperture, with optical image stabilization, records in 4K resolution, and the front-facing camera is 8 megapixels. Right beside the camera, you'll see an LED flash, and below the flash, this has the new color spectrum sensor, which gives you more accurate white balance. And to the left of the camera, this has the laser autofocus, which gives you a quick and accurate focus. The LG G4 is one of the best cameras I've used on any smartphone. Another one of my favorite cameras is the camera on the Galaxy S6. So comparing this to the Galaxy S6, it's a really close battle. The auto mode on this camera works really well. It accurately exposes most of the pictures I took. And for those who are more into photography, this actually has a really useful manual mode. So here you can see a lot of manual controls that you'll also find on DSLRs. On the left here, you can actually choose to shoot your photos in JPEG or RAW. So with all the image details in RAW photos, of course you can go to Lightroom or other photo editing software and further edit your photo in post-production. Down here you can manually adjust the temperature or the white balance of your shot. You can also manually focus when taking pictures, but for videos this only has autofocus. You can also change the exposure, the ISO, and also the shutter speed. With the manual controls of ISO and the shutter speed, you can actually take some really nice looking night photos. So here are just some of the photos and videos I took with the LG G4. By the way, I will be doing a full camera review of the LG G4 and maybe compare it to other flagship devices like the Galaxy S6 or the iPhone 6. So be sure to subscribe to my channel, and if that video is up, I will put an annotation on the screen and a link in the video description, so be sure to check it out. Here's a video test and also a microphone test with the LG G4. Right now this is recording at 4K UHD resolution. And I'm also testing out the video stabilization. Seems quite stable. I'm just walking around. here's a low light video test in 4K. It's about 9 p.m. right now. The sun has already gone down and it's almost dark. Now let's move on to the performance. As expected, the LG G4 has some killer specs. With a powerful 6-core Snapdragon 808 processor, Adreno 418 GPU, and 3GB of RAM, you really don't have to worry about the performance. On the G3 last year, I remember there were some small amount of lag and hiccups on the LG software, but now with the G4 on the latest software update, I'm not really experiencing any lag or hiccups or frame rate drops. It's really smooth and it's really fast. Now moving on to the software, of course this has the LG skin. I love the overall design of the icon pack, and this has fast, nice looking animations. The default stock applications have nice, clean designs, and they're easy to use with a user-friendly interface. You also get some pretty cool features, for example the dual window mode. You can go to multitasking and then click on dual window. Now I'm gonna drag 2 applications, one on top and one on the bottom. So now you can see I can use the application on the top and the application on the bottom at the same time. So it's quite useful and efficient if you want to type something out while doing research on the internet. Another great feature that I use quite often is the Q slide. So this opens up applications in a small window. Let me just open up the calculator app. So you can see this is in a small window. I can still interact with the application in the background and also do some calculations in this small window. Overall, I quite enjoy using the LG software. And by the way, on the left, if you scroll left, you will see a smart bulletin, and this has your health, calendar, music, settings, quick remote, and some tips. I don't really use this, so it's not really set up. Anyways, now let's talk about the battery life. With a 3000 mAh battery, the battery performance is quite solid. For me, on average, I get around 5 hours of on-screen time. Keep in mind, I'm not a heavy user, so I don't play a lot of games or do anything that consumes a lot of power. And this has really good standby time, so it doesn't drain a lot of battery if you put it on standby. Even though the 3000 mAh battery has to support the Quad HD display and the powerful processor and the GPU, it still performs quite well. If you're a heavy user, a tip for you is to purchase some spare batteries. So if you run out of battery, the quickest way is to replace it with a fully charged one. And lastly, let's talk about the speakers. This probably is my least favorite part about this phone. First of all, I don't like the placement of the speakers. You can easily cover them up with your hands. And second, the speaker really doesn't sound that great. It doesn't have a lot of bass, and the mids and highs are not really clear, but for me it's not a big issue because I don't play music through the speakers. If I want to play music, I'll use my earphones, or if I really want to play the music out loud, I can use my Bluetooth speakers. So this concludes my video review of the LG G4. I have to say this is my favorite smartphone so far in 2015. This has an amazing camera, good specs and software, nice build quality even though it's plastic, but with plastic, I can replace the battery or expand my storage, which I'm really happy about. And I'm also loving the 2K Quad HD amazing display on the G4. The only downside I have to say is the speakers. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and leave a comment down below on what you think of the G4.